Well, it's going to be the biggest college football game of the weekend. I expect a low-scoring, very, very physical football game. That's the only way Michigan can win. There's two teams in college football that have averaged over 40 points a game over the last 2 years, Georgia and USC. Points are going to be harder to come by. Michigan's got two of the best defensive linemen in college football, maybe the two best. Lincoln Riley, USC coach, is now joining us live. Okay, it's Big Ten football. I hope you bought a hoodie. Well, you got one on this offseason. Got to be chilly. So it is different. Big Ten, the big house. It's different. Have you talked to your team about beyond the football game, the Big Ten, the big house? Michigan's a top 5 program ever. Have you talked about significance of entering the new conference?
We have. I think it would be a mistake to totally just discount that and just say it's another game, right? It's a historic game. I think not surprising that the Big Ten, from a scheduling standpoint, would put, these two iconic teams and brands against each other on the field here early on in the season. So, I think understanding the significance about it, embracing that, and understanding what a great opportunity it is for us to go get off to a great start.
I had so many USC fans in the offseason say, what do you make of Miller Moss? And I'm like, well, he was a great high school player. So I went and looked at YouTube stuff. I thought I saw him play Louisville. I said, but bowl games these days, were they missing starters? You never quite know. I can't make any big determination. My takeaway is he always throws to the right place and accurately. That's just my, consumer radio guy, TV guy watching TV. What, as a coach, has there been anything about Miller that he has exceeded even your expectations, because he has been nearly perfect?
Yeah, I think the toughness and the leadership, which I think are incredibly important at that position, and sometimes they're tough to assess. You go watch a running back in practice or a linebacker, you get to see the physicality and how they hit and how they compete. Quarterbacks are a little bit different. Most people don't hit their quarterbacks in practice, and you start getting in those live situations when they're taking shots and they've got to get up or they've got to stand in there and make big throws. I think that's always, you learn a lot about guys in those scenarios. And then we've been able to see Miller from a leadership standpoint with last year's group at the end of the year. And then certainly this team, I think he's done a really nice job leading our guys and being somebody that our guys want to play for.
So it's almost, you got some guys in the transfer portal. You got a really good safety, a really good Mike linebacker. You got some upgrades, but it's a lot of the same dudes. And guys are just better. It's not even, like Anthony Lucas looks like a different player. So take me inside if you can, layman's terms here, but it's mostly the same personnel with completely different results. What is D'Anton Lynn, your DC from UCLA, what is he doing? What's the secret sauce here?
I think Coach Lynn and really our entire defensive staff have done a great job in terms of getting the system installed with our guys, getting them acclimated, and getting us to a point where we can go out and be confident on the field. And then there's been a big physical transformation within our program in the way that we develop these guys from a strength and conditioning and nutrition perspective, and that was to fit. Not just the new style of defense, but certainly obviously the new league that we're going into as well. So, it's been a team effort, a group effort. Danton's done a great job. Our players have done a great job here up to this point, but we know obviously a lot of big challenges left ahead.
It's interesting. You got a whole new defensive staff. The transfer portal's rampant in the sport. You brought in some freshmen, a new class. Unlike the NFL, where you can come back and kind of know, I got these 8 guys that are going to be there. They fit under the cap. College is a turnstile. And I've been impressed by the chemistry. I said this after you beat LSU. I watched your sideline. It was amazing. You have all these new coaches and all these new kids, and some guys are seniors from South Carolina, and then you got a freshman from Las Vegas or whatever. And I thought the body language was good. I'm like, God, they like each other. How do you develop that in a fall camp? Some of those guys have just shown up on campus.
Well, you got to have the right guys first. You got to have guys that are team first, that they have individual goals, but the team comes before it. And I think we got a group of people in this program, players, staff, that are really excited about this team, the chance to go prove ourselves, and that appreciate what it means to be a USC Trojan. This is a historic, significant place to be able to go to school, to be able to play football at, and people that appreciate it, I think, are going to bring that attitude to your locker room. So It's something that's important to us. We work hard at it, but I give our players a lot of credit because they're very bought in, and it's a very together team right now.
You know, I watch these SEC coaches barking, those guys screaming you, and I watch you. I don't even think I've seen you raise your voice outside of an occasional official. Do you ever, I mean, you know, you're more teacher, mentor than authoritarian, but you have a demeanor on the sideline. You don't get worked up over stuff. Is that always been the thing with you? Or it just seems to me college coaches sometimes they unravel. I'm like, wow, does he know he's on television? That's not your thing. Where did you, like, where's that come from?
I've just tried to be what the team needs me to be. And I think a lot of times, you know, for me, you know, losing my mind or getting too, you know, emotional in the moment takes clarity away from the decisions you got to make as a head coach and also as a play caller to try to put the team in best position we can. Now, you know, I'm guilty of losing it every now and again, but I try to, you know, we talk about poise and all of these things in our program, and I think I have to be an example of that. And I don't want, you know, me getting emotional, not, you know, making a wrong decision or putting us in a bad position. I never want that to hurt our program. So yeah, I try to be what they need me to be, and I've tried. I said I lose it sometimes, but I try to hang in there.
Hey, if you could give Caleb Williams, all these young guys are struggling. Tom Brady came on the show and he said, I'd put Drake May on a bench. We were talking this morning. Drake May and Michael Penix may be the winners here. They can sit and watch pros do it. They don't have to play. If you could give Caleb one piece of advice, he's not a kid. He's going to do his own thing, but it's so hard in the NFL. There's so many. Everybody's faster. What do you do when a quarterback's struggling? What's the advice at any level you give them?
I think you got to go back to the basics. And I think a lot of times the answers that you're looking for, you know, as a player are right there. And sometimes when you get into it and get into competitive situations, especially a new league, a new offense, new coaches around you, new supporting cast, there's going to be some growing pains, right? You're going to go through some tough moments, but you got to continue to go back to the basics, continue to improve, continue to lead. And most importantly, you can't let it affect your attitude, your mentality, the way you play, the way you practice. You just got to keep growing. And Caleb will. He's a fighter. He's going to continue to learn and grow. And as painful as some of these, you know, tough moments have been, you know, early in the season, that those are all opportunities to learn and grow. And if he's, you know, going to become the player that we all know he can be in that league, he's going to have to learn and progress from them. And I believe he will.
Yeah, by the way, Kalen Bullock's off to a great start. Houston Texans, he's playing his butt off. Lincoln Riley, USC and Michigan this weekend. Can't wait in the big house in Ann Arbor. Good seeing you, Lincoln.
You too. You too. Fight on.
All right. Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.